This is 7 News reporting to you live on December 8, 1898, with a report on the Spanish-American War. Alicia here with Briana and Alexi.
The Spanish-American War was fought long and hard, but we're finally seeing it come to an end this month with the signing of the peace treaty in Paris. Upon Spain's signing of the treaty, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines will be forfeited to the U.S. and Cuba will be given independence.
We've been hearing a bit about President McKinley being hesitant to give Cuba this freedom, though, haven't we?
Yes, but Cuba has in fact made an adjustment to its constitution that's being called the Platt Amendment, which gives the United States authority to be involved in Cuban affairs should there be a threat to life, liberty, or individual liberty, and allows a U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay. Maybe we should review the events of the war for our viewers?
Excellent idea. The war began with the crumbling Spanish Empire and their colonial people demanding independence, likely due to their poor treatment. Cuba attempted to rebel many times in the 19th century and faced an economic depression in 1895.
Spain decided to step in an attempt to control this colony by sending General Bellarino, the Butcher, whaler there and removing many Cubans from their homes, causing many to perish due to starvation.
Obviously, we had no choice but to get involved due to the awful way that Spain was treating Cuba, a good trading partner of ours. The hardships that Cuba faced due to Spain negatively affected our trade, and it was the last straw for U.S. citizens when the USS Maine was sent to Cuba in January earlier this year, and it spontaneously combusted in the waters.
This was clear foul play from Spain, and though McKinley had reservations about involvement in this war, it was time.
With citizens immensely supporting the war, the U.S. Army grew by over 200,000 volunteers in over just 4 months from an initial number of only 28,000 volunteers. In order to accommodate this, Theodore Roosevelt resigned from the Navy Department and volunteered to organize the first voluntary cavalry of the United States. He called this group the Rough Riders.
There were 2 main battles during the war that should be highlighted and recognized. These were called the Battle of the Philippines and the Battle of San Juan Hill.
The battle in the Philippines was the first major battle of the war, sparking when American ships placed in the Hong Kong on alert were led by Commodore George Dewey with help from the Assistant Secretary of the Navy at the time. Theodore Roosevelt took into contact the Filipino forces.
The Filipino forces were led by Emilio Aguinaldo, and together they battled the Spanish fleet in capital Manila on May 1, 1898. The Spanish fleet was completely destroyed, and 380 Spanish soldiers were wounded or killed. Dewey was regarded as a hero.
The other monumental battle was on July 1st, when Roosevelt led his Rough Riders, along with African Americans, drove back the Spanish, capturing San Juan Hill.
Here, the Spanish fleet was destroyed yet again when it attempted to flee through Santiago Harbor 2 days later. And the city surrendered on July 17th. Puerto Rico was taken by the U.S. a week later, and a truce was signed on August 12th.
Finally, here we are today with the war over. We are seeing slight opposition to the results from the group of the U.S. citizens calling themselves the Anti-Imperialist League,
including some prominent Americans, including Mark Twain, Jane Addams, and Andrew Carnegie. The belief of this group is that the U.S. shouldn't deny the territories gained by the war the right to govern themselves, and that the territories shouldn't have been taken under U.S. control.
We don't particularly agree with this, seeing the way these people were treated by Spain. It is evident that they need some proper guidance in governing.
Thank you for watching. Tune in next time to hear some more news updates. This is Briana, Alexi, and Alicia signing off. Have a good day, everyone.